I drink. Don't act like you know me if you don't know my team. That's how it goes, man. Thinks. Please don't mind me. It is as if my whole life I dream. Winning is all I do, I think. Magic tricks, man, I roll up my sleeves. What you talking about, sleep? I stay up and get things done. I be like, ready, get me some. You couldn't prevent me from taking the lead in this league. I got stripes and stripes, striking best not hide your eyes. I'll just a whole dynamite, let it ignite inside and still be able to remind them why. It's Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud. Any day, any night, on site, alright, let's go.
Hey, welcome everybody to this week's edition of the Spud Kingdom podcast. Thank you always as tuning in every week. I really appreciate it. You guys are the glue of this show. You are the Spud Kingdom. You are the reason why I do this. I am your host, as always, Woody. Thank you once again for tuning in to this week's edition. We have a couple things to cover. It was a big weekend for everybody. Is that first place I smell? I don't know. Not alone. But it is his start. So, big weekend last weekend. We will talk about the usual game recap, stats, standings, 3 stars, hockey rule trivia, all that good stuff. I have a special guest interview this week. Not my typical fan interview, but it is a cool interview to have. We're going to be promoting a few things, not to mention it's just nice to have an interview on the show. I was able to do it over the phone, so it made it nice. There's a way I can record that, so future interviews over the phone may be possible. So get at me, peeps. So I have a new podcast starting. I'm not getting rid of this one. This is going to be like a secondary thing. It's going to focus more on music, sports entertainment, all different kinds of stuff, and I'm going to have like actual people on the show that put together some of these music products, or maybe fighters here locally or not even locally. Maybe I'll get somebody on big from BKFC or something like that. Who knows? I got ways to talk to some people, and I think people are interested. So some of the people I've reached out to, so it sounds very promising. So stay tuned. I will have more information on that. Right now, it is set to launch February 2nd. So I will be keeping people up to date if you want to tune into that. I'm not getting rid of the Spud Kingdom podcast. This is the main event right here. This is the one that starts it all. And the Spud Kings are not going away, so neither am I, unless you guys say, hey, I think it's time. But so far, I'm getting people saying thank you and keep going, and it's glad to have you back and stuff like that. So anyway, let's get to some of the action. What do you guys say? Game 1 was Friday, January 17th at the MAC versus the Rock Spring Grizzlies. Rock Springs would start off, winning the shot battle for sure. I mean, it wasn't like the greatest hot start or nothing like that, but they would definitely win the shot battle for the first couple periods. So first period, Rock Springs had 11 shots on goal. Spud Kings only had 7. First period would be a penalty-filled period. There were 6 penalties between the two teams, mainly cross-checking, and I'll get to that here later. Because of this game, it made me think of this as probably the hockey rule of the week, so we'll get to cross-checking later. But at 8 minutes, 46 seconds, the Flying Finn, Jonathan Radikainen, takes advantage of the penalties and gets a power play goal for his 6th of the year. And he was assisted by Ryan Rothke for his 4th and Lucas Ronner his 11th. So it was great to see them start off good. Even though they were losing the shot battle, they were able to get one in. Jonathan, this is a big start to a big weekend for him. So almost 3 minutes later, at 11 minutes, 27 seconds, Tim the Hitman Kim. Wrong button. Oops. It was supposed to be this one, guys. I'm calling him the Hitman because every time he gets a chance to take a shot, it's like he's an assassin, a sniper. He's ready to shoot. So I'm calling him the Hitman. You guys let me know if you like it. Tim, I hope you like it. I'm going to get at you when I get back to the arena and ask you what you think of it. But Tim Kim would strike for his ninth, and he was assisted by Jonathan Radikainen for his eighth and Ryan Rothke for his fifth. The lead would hold for the period, but the Rock Springs would score at 18 minutes and 56 seconds. Christoph Molnar would get his eighth. So the period would end 2-1 Spud Kings. So this is just the start of what would be a big night for the Spud Kings to come. I forgot to mention that Durkin had the night off. So Alex Sabev got the start in the net. And I've been pronouncing in his name Sabev, I believe, but I have been corrected, and his name is officially pronounced Sabev. So we'll make sure I get that right from here on out. So Alex Sabev got the start in the net. So the second period, Rock Springs would lead in shots again, but it wouldn't matter. Rock Springs would have 13 shots on goal, and the Spud Kings would kick it up a notch and get 10. Only one goal on the period, and it would be the Spud Kings at 7 minutes, 4 seconds. Ryan Rothke would get his third goal of the year, and he was assisted by Tim, the Hitman Kim, for his fifth on the year, and Jonathan, the Flying Fin Radikainen. There he is again, man. So that was his ninth on the year. Not much other action except Sabev denying all shots that came his direction. This dude has been a great fill-in for when Durkin needs a night off, and hopefully this will give Durkin a chance to get more nights off in the future because he has been a workhorse up to this point in the season. But so the period would end 3-1 Spud Kings. In the third period, the Spud Kings would even up the shot battle. They would take it up to 32 to each team. Rock Springs had 8 shots on goal in the period, and the Spud Kings would definitely kick it up another notch and would get 15. A frustration was set in with Rock Springs as they got a little chippy, and they picked up 3 penalties in the period. But none of it would affect the outcome of the game. The Grizzlies would score first in the period at 9 minutes, 42 seconds. Max von Klinggraf, they get his fourth on the year. The Spud Kings would match the goal, though. At 11 minutes, 13 seconds, Tyler Atchison would get his fourth on the year. And before I had my surgery, I was talking to Tyler back in the locker room area, and I was like, dude, you're about to get one. I feel you about to start heating up. So maybe this is the start of something big for him. So, but yeah, it was his fourth on the year. He was assisted by Leo Mantenuto for his fifth and Easy Easton Edwards for his 23rd on the year. That would be it for the scoring, actually, and the game would end 4-2. Spud Kings win. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. So Spud Kings go 1 for 6 on the power play, so they were able to convert once. Not the best because we are one of the better power play conversion teams in the league. That's a little lower than our average, but at least we got one. Alex Sabev would rack up the W, allowing 2 goals on 32 shots for a .938 save percentage. Big win as Ogden would lose 6-0 versus Pueblo. Only 1 point behind at this point at the end of the night on Friday. So looking really good for us at the start of the weekend. So game 2, Saturday, January 18th, 2025, also at the MAC. This one was versus Casper Warbirds. This night would be all about Sammy Grimaldi. Man, what a big night for Sammy. We'll get to everything here in just a little bit. Spud Kings finally win the shot battle in this game and put double the amount as Casper. So they ended up doubling the shot total, which was great because it's nice to see them playing some great defense and it's nice to see him actually putting some shots on net. So, um, just not in the first. Casper would get 9 shots on goal, and the Spud Kings would only get 6. So, starting off kind of slow for both teams. Only 1 goal in the period, coming at 18 minutes and 47 seconds. Maxwell Rutkowski would get his 6th on the year, and it was a shorthanded goal. Now, I'm pretty sure I mentioned the last time that we played Casper that this kid was known for this exact thing. So once again, we let it happen again. We need to shut this kid down if we end up on the power play against these guys. I don't know what it is, but he thrives in shorthanded situations. So we not only need to try to convert on the power play when we play Casper, but we need to shut these boys down too. So the period would end 1-0 Casper, as that would be all the action that we would see for the period, really. Second period, it would all begin, really. This is where it all started. So Casper only had 2 shots on goal, so there's that defense, and the Spud Kings had 16. Hear that? 16. This is what I'm talking about. This is what we're capable of doing. That 3 minutes, 58 seconds, unleash Sammy Grimaldi. He gets his first on what would be a big night and his 5th on the year, and it was quite the rebound, put back goal. It was amazing. The excitement in the arena just blew everything up on that point. And he was assisted on the play by DJ the Beast McLeish for his 13th and Lucas Ronner for his 12th. Only 14 seconds later, I think the broadcast was talking about Pueblo at the time, and I'll get to that here in a little bit, but they mentioned Pueblo and how they were winning at the time against Ogden, and then bam, Ryan Rothkley would chip in his 4th of the year, and he was assisted by Tim the Hitman Kim for his 6th, and the Flying Fin Jonathan Radikainen. That's what I'm talking about. Only 1 minute and 12 seconds later, at the 5-minute 24-second mark, ding, ding, round 2, Sammy Grimaldi strikes again. 6th goal of the year, 2nd in the game, and he was assisted by Easy Easton Edwards for his 24th and Andrew Schmidt for his 20th on the season. I mean, this was starting to look like a great period, and it became even bigger because 3.5 minutes later, at 9 minutes even, the Flying Fin, Jonathan Radikainen, would finally strike again. There's the one I was looking for. He would get his 7th on the year, and he was assisted by Leo Mantenuto for his 6th and Tim the Hitman Kim for his 7th. So period would end 4-1 Spud Kings. And so I just got a side note here. I don't know if you guys watched the Zamboni race during the period. I know some of you, that's a great time to go hit the head and grab another drink, maybe a snack or whatnot. But so the Zamboni race, I don't know if you noticed, there was one kid that kept looking back behind him, and he was just like literally cruising on the Zamboni. Well, this was the grandson of one of our listeners, and he hit me up and he sent me a picture of him, and he was sitting there, and he was just like, see how he keeps looking back? And I'm like, yeah, man. He's like, he thought that the big Zambonis were coming in to finish up what he left behind. So he actually thought he was cleaning the ice on his mini Zamboni. I thought that was the cutest, most adorable thing, and I had to share it with y'all. I hope you like it too. I thought it was great. Thanks, Jackson, for hitting me up and talking to me about that. I thought it was awesome. So the third period would be slow for the most part. Casper would have 5 shots on goal, and the Spud Kings would have 10. But it would be all about the man of the night. At 3 minutes, 26 seconds, Sammy Grimaldi completes the hat trick, and he was assisted by Andrew Schmidt, his 21st, and Bronson's table for his 11th. This was an amazing goal as well. I believe it was another rebound shot, and it sealed the deal for the Hats. They came flying over the edge. You guys got all into it. What a night for Sammy Grimaldi. Let's give him a hand. That's what I'm talking about. This would be all for the action for the period and for the game, as the Spud Kings would win 5-1. And on a side note on that score real quick before I get into all the stats and stuff, I want to shout out Brian Colson, because he hit me up before the game and we were talking about some of the stat leaders and some of the scoring leaders versus Casper, and he was like, hey, I think it's going to be 5-1. We're going to have a big game, and there's going to be a big thing happening. I think he predicted a hat trick from somebody else, but he did predict a hat trick, and he predicted the exact score. So I wanted to give you a shout out, my boy. Now, if you guys are wondering what I said I thought it was going to be 5-0. So I got the 5 right, but I was hoping Durkin would get the shutout. I think he's long overdue for a shutout. So I was hoping this might be his chance to get one. But he only allowed the 1, and he shut him down for the rest of the game. So shout out to my boy Dirk. Shout out to Brian for that. So I do have some recorded audio of the 3 goals that I want to play for you guys. That way you can just get a little hint of what it sounded like here at home for me and what it sounded like on the broadcast in general. So here are the 3 goals by Sammy Grimaldi. So enjoy the broadcast from Scott Bradford and part of it by the Huddy Bear himself, Eric Hudson. So here is the audio of those 3 goals.
And, get off the hill and come to the Spud Kings game.
Oh yeah! Score!
There's Grimaldi.
Sam Grimaldi on the rebounds. See, we just needed to talk about attendance.
I know.
And things will work out.
You and I have some weird niches that we talk about and we score.
Edwards.
Oh,
Edwards tried the Michigan. Couldn't get it.
It's the second time in a couple games he's tried that.
Might as well do it. Tipped up. Oh, boy, that fluttering puck almost went in. Very close. Grimaldi.
Something happened.
In the quarter. Edwards with the shot. Blocker safe.
Yeah!
Score on the rebound.
What's going on?
I don't know, but an explosion here. Second goal for Sam Grimaldi.
Wow.
Grimaldi up the ice. This is Schmidt. Andrew Schmidt working sharp angle. Score! Hat trick! Sam Grimaldi. If I could reach the ice from here, I would throw one. And there comes the Hats. Sammy Grimaldi with the hat trick tonight.
Once again, thank you, Scott Bradford and Huddy Bear, Eric Hudson, and Spud King TV for those amazing sounds for the game. And I know technically I don't call you guys up and be like, hey, I'm going to use your sound, but it's a small little bit. It gives you guys a little bit of promotion, and I know you don't mind. So, and you guys do an amazing job on some of these 3 goals especially. You guys were fired up, and the sound was amazing. So thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. Look them up on X at Spud King TV, and check them out on Flow Hockey TV, guys, when you get the chance. If you can't make it down to the game, watch it on TV. I like it. I don't mind. They put on a great show. We have lots of camera angles and everything. So congrats again to Sammy. Spud Kings had 7 power play opportunities on the night and didn't convert on any of them. So a little upsetting on that. So we went 1 for 13 on the power play for the weekend. Not the greatest conversion rate when we're like number 2 in the league and do a lot better than that normally. So Durkin does get the win, though, stopping 15 out of 16 shots for a .938 save percentage. Ogden would lose in overtime. Unfortunately, it was in overtime, so they would pick up 1 point. So we would end the weekend in tie for first. So Jackson Wall hit me up on Facebook and asked me a question because Pueblo ended up sweeping Ogden on the weekend, and he was like, "Hey man, what's got into Pueblo lately?" My response was, only thing I could think of is they've made a lot of transactions lately, just like we have, and they actually have a former couple Spud Kings on the team that didn't get a lot of playing time here, that now get a lot of playing time for them and are big contributors. So they've been making a lot of transactions just like we have and adding new pieces that fit them real well. So look out for Pueblo. I think right now they're still down there in third or fourth, but they are on the rise. Next time we play them, it's going to be rough, so we got to be prepared. This up-and-coming team, they're on the rise. They're making all the right moves and all the right choices right now. So shout out to you, my man, for the question. Thanks, Jackson, for hitting me up. Also, on the same broadcast, like I mentioned before, on the Ryan Rothke goal, Scott asked Eric Hudson the same thing. Hey, what got into Pueblo lately? But Ryan Rothke scored the amazing goal, and we didn't get an answer. So I can't tell you what Eric would have told him because there's no answer. So the only thing I could think of is maybe is that he was going to say the same things. They've been making a lot of transactions, making pieces, making moves, and it's working out for them. So let's get to the standings now after the weekend. Both Spud Kings and Ogden have a 24-6-2 record and 51 points in the standings. So they're both in first place. Technically, we're 1 point under them because I think they've technically beat us one game more than us or something. I don't know. It's real close, but they have the tiebreaker, so they're technically in first place right now. Now, let's get to the stats. So Andrew Schmidt still number one on the team with 42 points and second in the NCDC with 42 as well, obviously. Easton is second with 39 points on the team, and he's eighth in the NCDC. So two guys in top 10 in points. I think there might only be one other team, but they're not from the Mountain Division that have two players in the top 10 in points. Schmidt is also first in goals with 21 and also second in the NCDC and only two away from the number one spot. So if he has a big weekend this weekend, he might be number one. Just keep an eye out for him. Easy Easton Edwards also second on the team with 15 goals, and he fell out of the top 10, but he's now 13th in the NCDC, and we are the only team in the Mountain Division with two top 15 goal scorers in the league. Like in the whole entire NCDC, we have two of them, and we're the only ones in the Mountain Division with that. There's another team in, I think, the Atlantic Division or something. I think they are because I think it's the Island Hockey Club, the Islanders Hockey Club. Those guys have two as well, but they're not much different from our guys. So, only team in the Mountain Division with two top scorers and two top point getters. And then Easton is number one on the team in assists with 24, and just out of the top 10, number 12 in the NCDC. And Schmidt is second with 21. And he was a little bit further down on the list, so I didn't even really mention where he was standing, and I didn't really write it down. So sorry, guys, if you wanted to know. But he's down there a little bit further. So Easton is number 12 in the NCDC with assists. Schmidt second on the team. Now the 3 stars of the week, guys. So the 3 stars of the week, my first and second star, I had a little bit of debate with myself, but I went with one over the other, and we'll talk about it here in a second. But I do have one honorable mention for the week. We're going to go with Tim, the Hitman Kim. He had 4 points on the weekend with 1 goal and 3 assists. So he was my honorable mention. It was really tough choice between him and our third star, Ryan Rothke. Ryan Rothke had 4 points on the weekend as well, but he had 2 goals and 2 assists. So I think I promoted him over because he had the extra goal. But a big weekend from Ryan, big weekend from Tim. My second star of the week, and this is where you guys might have a little controversy with me. If you do, hit me up on Facebook. You know where we're at. We'll talk about it. I'm cool with it. But my second star, Sammy Grimaldi. His hat trick on Saturday was his only 3 points on the weekend, but it was 3 big goals and took us over the top and helped us win the game. So Sammy was my second star of the week. My first star of the week, though, however, was the Flying Finn Jonathan Radikainen. He had 5 points on the weekend. He had 2 goals and 3 assists in both games. So, he had a goal in both games. So I figured the 5 points was a little bit better than the 3 goals. Hat trick was a big night. Don't get me wrong, but that was one night. Johnny had a big weekend, so therefore he's my first star of the week. So congratulations to my 3 stars of the week. Third star, Ryan Rothke. Second star, Sammy Grimaldi. And first star, the Flying Finn, Jonathan Radikainen. Player of the week for the Mountain Division, and this is why I had a little bit more controversy, because the player of the week from the Mountain Division from our team, Sammy Grimaldi. And he was the only one that made player of the week that wasn't from Pueblo. So, once again, let's give that man a hand. Hey, congrats, Sammy, on the hat trick. Congrats on player of the week. You really deserve it, man. Sorry you only made my second star, but mine was for the weekend. And Jonathan, I just still deserve it. But congrats, Sammy. Now, let's get to the hockey rule of the week. So my hockey rule of the week, as I mentioned in the first game, is cross-checking. And it was because there was like 4 or 5 cross-checking penalties in that first period in the first game of the weekend. So I figured that's a sign. Let's do that one. So cross-checking is the act of using the shaft of the stick between both hands to forcibly check an opponent. Now, normally it is only just a minor penalty, but if the referee deems the check is more dangerous or it looks like they did it intentionally to hurt somebody, it can lead to a major or even a match penalty. So, hockey rule of the week, cross-checking is the act of using the shaft of the hockey stick between both hands to forcibly check an opponent. Now, most people, cross-checking is like the biggest no-no in hockey, but it actually happens way more often than you would think. And now, with that being said, let's get to the trivia. Now, the trivia, I'm having a little debate with this one because I figured asking the question that I did last week and doing it for 2 back-to-back episodes that maybe I would have more responses, but I didn't. I only had 3. So this could be the last week for trivia unless you guys decide to hit me up and say, no, we really do like it, but we just don't like responding or playing, but we like the information. So hit me up if that's the case. I'll keep going, but this might be the last week depending on what kind of responses. So the answer to last week's question, though, and the question was, what is the most coveted trophy in all of hockey? And I was corrected by a listener too that said they think it's the most coveted trophy in all of sports, which may be. I've heard that before as well. I've heard that announced like on other sports shows that cover all sports, not just hockey. So I have heard that said before. But the answer is Lord Stanley's Cup. That's right. The Stanley Cup is the answer and is the most coveted trophy in all of hockey, maybe even all of sports. And the winner was Adam Gardner. Thanks, my bro. There was 3 correct answers. I spun the wheel. You are the winner. Hit me up on Facebook, my dude, and I'll get you your free pizza passes. Once again, I can't come to any of you guys. You got to hit me up or come to me so I can figure out how to get you these prizes right now. So, once again, thank you, Adam. Appreciate it. Big winner. Congrats to you, my bro. So this week's question, though, it's kind of something more current, and maybe get some cool responses out of this. I don't know. But my question is this week, Who is going to break and has the opportunity, and I think will break Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal-scoring record? And it could happen this year as long as he stays healthy. But if he doesn't, I think he might return one more year just to finish off this record because it is such a coveted record and it's been around for a lot of years. LeBron broke the scoring record for basketball last year, so why not the hockey one? So the question is, who is going to break Wayne Gretzky's all-time goal-scoring record? So hit me up on Facebook with the answers. I'll have the answer on there next week. We'll do the will and spin if we have to. If whatever works. Hopefully, I get a bunch of answers. If I don't, might be the last week of trivia. I do have 2 more pizzas available. Yep, I do. I have 2 more free pizzas available. So this will be for 2 free pizzas to Homestead Pizza. So hit me up for the answers, and I'll post when the episode goes live. I do have a special guest interview this week. It's not an original fan interview like we normally do. The man, he lives in Vegas, so he hasn't been able to go to any Spud Kings games, but he is from here in Idaho Falls, and he's the man who made the song for this podcast. So we'll get to that interview right now. So we'll get to the interview with my buddy LFDY, the Spud Kingdom song creator. So here's that interview. Hey, what up, Spud Kingdom? So I have a special guest here today. I have the man who created the song for this podcast here, my brother, John Lord, better known as LFDY. Welcome to the show, brother.
Yo, what's up, Woody?
What up, my bro? I appreciate you coming on, man.
Yeah,
First
yeah, for
off,
sure. Thank you for having me.
no problem, man. First off, let the people know where you're calling from right now. Where are you residing?
I live in Las Vegas, uh, as of right now. Yeah, I've lived here since 2016, moved from Boise, so lived
So
there for a
living
while.
there, man, you have a lot of opportunities for entertainment and stuff. Do you get to dabble out very much?
Yeah, 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 there's just so many opportunities out here. It's crazy. Like, I was only planning on being here for a couple years, but getting involved with this and that. I'm like,
Next
I
thing
have
you
to
know, it turns
stay.
into home.
Exactly. It's like I can't leave right now. Like I just have so much going on.
I understand
So,
that, brother.
you know?
Yeah. So, since this is a hockey podcast, I am going to ask you a couple
Yes.
of hockey questions. First one: do you
Okay.
watch hockey?
Um, Not really. I love hockey. There's 2 sports that I love, uh, that I have respect for. Because I don't really know much about sports, honestly. I don't
Right.
know sports ball, okay? But when it comes to sports, I do like hockey. I like baseball, and I guess soccer is starting to grow on me too. But um but I've always appreciated hockey because I've been to a game before and they're just insane, and I want to go to a lot more.
For real, yeah, they are pretty nuts. So you don't get to watch very often because you don't really watch like sports in general. But do you have a favorite hockey team?
A favorite hockey team. I'd say the one that Happy Gilmore played for. Uh, no.
What, Waterbury or something like that.
Right.
I think he wore a Boston Bruins jersey for most of that show, but
Well, actually, I actually seen, a lot of hockey games down here with the Golden Knights. I haven't actually seen them in person, but where I used to work, they used to play the games all the time. So
okay.
like I got to feel the passion from the fans and just the environment of, what's going on and everything is
I feel
it's
like it's a
always exciting.
whole nother vibe of fandom hockey. It's very similar to uh like soccer in a way, like people are very
Yeah.
loyal and dedicated.
Yeah, for sure. And they'll break out into fights and everything too. It's like its own world.
It is its own world, and it's definitely
Yeah.
its own type of people too.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously
Yeah.
you didn't probably watch it growing up or nothing like that. And you said you'd never been to a Knights game, but you've seen a few on TV or previous work jobs and stuff like. And you said the environment is phenomenal. One of these
Mm,
days, we're gonna have to get you back here to Idaho Falls, and I'm gonna have to take you
yeah.
to a Spud Kings game.
Exactly. You see, before, like I didn't even know that Idaho Falls had a hockey team at first, and then I was presented with this, and I'm like, holy shit.
Right?
I think I moved out of Idaho. When did I leave Idaho Falls? I think I left around 2011.
I would say maybe a little bit before, maybe even because you left
Yeah,
here and went up
right,
to the back to
2010
the B
probably.
town, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, yep.
Yep. So yeah, it's been a while. We just got the team. This is our only our third season.
Okay.
So when I presented the idea to you, like this was all fresh to me too. So like,
Yeah. See, if Spud Kings were a thing back then, I probably would have been to every single game because they're just so fun to watch.
yeah, exactly, man. I'm gonna have to get you my login so you can watch one of the games on TV at least.
Yeah. Cool. I'm
Uh,
down.
so the real reason, though, that I brought you onto the show is that you have an album coming out soon, right?
Yes,
And
that's true.
the name of this album is.
I made an album in December, is what the title is of the album.
And
Like I
I
know
think
it's
it's
not too
fresh
clever.
because like I
Yeah.
talk to you and I understand the whole meaning of it. And I
Yeah.
think it's just fresh. It kind of brings back like some of them old school album names like from like the
Yeah.
70s and 80s and stuff.
Yeah.
So I like it. I think it's
Yeah.
fresh.
I just wanted to get to the point, like this album was just made in a month's time. But a song that is on that album is Spud Kingdom, and that song was actually right before December. It started like I made Spud Kingdom, and then I just wanted to top that. I wanted to do something that not top it, but match the energy and come up with a song that was going to just have that same energy, right? So like I kept trying to match that energy. That kind of just ended up with me spending an entire December in the studio
Just writing
making this
song
out.
after song.
Right, right. Starting with Spud Kings
So
or Spud Kingdom.
all because I set you with the little task. I was like, "Hey, bro, I wouldn't task this with almost anybody else. Could you make me a theme song for my podcast?" You were
Yeah,
like, "Yeah, I
for
got you."
sure. Yeah,
So that just started the creative juices all over again, and you're like, let's build
yeah,
on this.
exactly. There's two things that got me excited. The fact that the fact that you were starting this podcast, I'm like, I got your back all the way, bro.
You're right.
I just wanted to help out with that. And then the other, it's like, oh, I have an opportunity here to represent Idaho Falls in this light. I've never done like a sports themed song and everything, so it just like really excited me that Idaho Falls has a hockey team and that I can represent for Idaho Falls, where I took my very first steps as a human being.
Right. And I
Um,
mean, and not even that, like, this is kind of where you started catching your flow as an artist before you moved to
yeah,
Boise and really started diving deep. We'll talk about that another day. But
yeah,
so Idaho Falls is like basically a hometown to you too. So when I
it is
presented
home.
the idea, you're like, yes, let me
Yeah,
represent home, please. This is a great idea.
exactly. Yeah, I got super excited. I think it was the day after Thanksgiving. I'm like, I got you, bro. Here we go. Boom.
Yeah, because you were sick for a couple weeks before that.
I
You came
was.
down with the cruds,
I was. I
so it
was
set you
trying to
back a
work on
little
it. I
bit.
couldn't. Yeah,
Yeah,
I forgot all about that. Yeah, I didn't have a voice.
right. You
So I'm
lost your
over
voice,
here.
lost the motivation.
Yeah.
You had to get healed, and then boom, it was on.
Yeah,
So
I barely got my voice back, and then I had to yell into the microphone. I'm like, well, this is an anthem type of song. I wanted a song that was energetic, that people could train to, work out to, get pumped up to. So without a voice or barely a voice, I'm over here yelling, Spud!
Kingdom.
Yeah, that was not easy.
Yeah, maybe one of these times I'll have to get on the mic and send you my voice, and you can dub it over too. And
Yeah, I think you would make an amazing artist. I know you have a really cool playlist,
I
so I've
do.
always trusted
I
that you
do
would
have
be
a
able to
really
do it.
good playlist, and I have dabbled a little bit with writing in this past year because I've been letting
Oh,
my creative juices flow a little bit more.
oh, that's
So
cool.
maybe we'll have to come up with some stuff together.
For sure. I was just thinking I should have ghost wrote Spud Kingdom for you. I know you would deliver.
Well, maybe we'll just have to add a third verse.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Remix, might as well, honestly.
The 33 mix.
Three mix, yeah, 33
So
mix.
speaking of 33, so this album is set to come out on the 33rd day of the year, which
Yes,
is
February 2nd,
yeah. All right. So
2/2.
where are we gonna find it?
It'll be exclusive to YouTube.
Exclusive to
It's
YouTube for right now.
exactly, yes, but I am bringing back um that feeling that you have when you open up a CD, right? And then you pull out the
Oh,
packet, you
you
pull out the
mean struggling
booklet,
with the wrapper a little
right?
bit,
Pull the
getting
booklet
that fresh
out.
smell?
Exactly. I'm trying to bring that feeling back. So this album, it is for the digital world and everything. However, I am gonna transition
Like some special edition
to
copies.
yeah, like you can get the digital version. However, in order to get that access, you need to hit me up and I'll send you a fucking package. Excuse me. Yep, I'll send you a package.
All right, yeah, heck yeah, man. I love it. Warning though, I wanted just to let you guys know that this album does contain some explicit content.
Yeah,
Spud Kingdom was requested by me to keep it PG and PC for the fam, and that way we can chant it and maybe even possibly get Javi to play it in the arena for us. Now that
that'd be
it's
great.
coming out on an album and not just available on the podcast, that's going to give more opportunities for that.
Yeah, yeah, very excited. This is kind of like a next chapter album for me. It's like I'm doing things that I've never done before for this album. So it's kind of like this is the direction I'm going in now. You heard this version of me, but this time I'm kind of amping it up and going I don't want to say too much. Listen to it and you'll see uh the difference. If you have ever heard my music before, you'll hear the difference
And
in
if
this
you
new
haven't
album.
heard his music before, some of it is available on Spotify. His former group, 33 Deep, has an album on there. Appreciate the vibe. He has another album under Plan B, if I'm correct. Right? There's one on
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And I have plenty of albums up there on Spotify. I have one that's called Homies. That's probably the
Oh, that
most
was a good
recent
one.
one. Yeah, that's a collaboration album. And then after that, I released another album that was for a soundtrack to a video game, which is a video game me and my boy created
Oh,
as well.
was
So,
that Cushy?
yes, yes.
Cushy the game, and
So
that's available to download, guys, on any of your app
on
stores.
Google Play,
Google
yeah, only
Play.
on yeah, Google Play for sure.
Yeah. So I mean, there's also that soundtrack, and he actually just released a double um album last what was it last summer.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
one's exclusive though. So if you want that one,
right.
you actually have to hit him up and get him $30,
Exactly.
and he'll send you a whole package. So that one's actually pretty sweet too. So
Yep.
on the 33rd day, February 2nd, 2025, check him out on YouTube. And is this one under the LFDY name?
Yes, sir.
All right, look him up. LFDY. You'll get to check out Spud Kingdom in its entirety, and along with a whole list of bangers. He sent me a couple to preview myself, so I can kind of get a little vibe of what he's got going on. Check it out, guys. I just promise you, uh, you won't be unhappy. I feel great after every song, and a couple of them, like, oh dang, who made you mad, bro?
Yeah. Yeah, people like to make me mad, and I like to express it.
That's okay. That's what the whole point of the free speech, right? Like
Right. Free speech is back, baby.
free
So,
speech is back, and it's never
so
been more
let's
powerful than in music. So
exactly let's exercise this free speech while we
exercise
have it.
Heck yeah, brother. I want to thank you for coming on to the show. I
Yeah,
appreciate it,
thank
man.
you, brother.
Yeah, no problem.
Once again, man, thank you, my boy John, my boy Berna, LFDY. Thanks for coming on to the show. Be on the lookout for the new album. It's going to drop the same day as the new podcast. So February 2nd, just be on the lookout. 2 big drops coming. Thanks again for coming on the show, my dude. I appreciate you. I appreciate you for writing the song. I really appreciate everything you've done for me in the last couple of weeks, my dude. We'll get together and record an interview for the next podcast real soon. So, recap for the weekend. We won both games. Ogden lost both, so now we're tied for first. The 3 stars of the week was Ryan Rothke was my 3rd star, Sam Grimaldi was my 2nd star, and the Flying Finn, Jonathan Radikainen, he was my 1st star. We got a weekend set coming up versus the Utah Outliers. Friday night, January 24th, we have the Thunderstick giveaway courtesy of Wendy's. So last time, I believe they just had them sitting on the seats. So you don't have to rush or nothing. They'll be on your seats waiting for you when you get to the arena. So Friday, January 24th, versus the Utah Outliers at the Mountain America Center. They're having a Thunderstick giveaway courtesy of Wendy's. And then Saturday, January 25th, also at Mountain America Center, we'll be playing Utah once again, and it's First Responders Night courtesy of the Chaplains of Idaho. So should be a big weekend for us, guys. Ogden also has 2 big games versus Casper. Hopefully Casper can do what Pueblo did. We all know Casper's not the greatest team, but they always do play us and Ogden usually pretty well. So we'll see what happens. All-Star game this Monday and Tuesday live from Boston. So if you get the chance, check it out on Flow Hockey TV. I'm going to do my best to watch it because I'm going to try to get some stats and info and try to watch and support our boys. We have I think we have six All-Stars on the team, 7. Plus, our coach is also coaching the team. So tune in for that Monday and Tuesday. Big weekend this weekend. 2 games at home against Utah. We got 2 games, All-Star game Monday, Tuesday. Our guys are playing, so help support them, Flow Hockey TV. Let's stay in first place, man. Let's cheer on these All-Stars. Let's do everything we can. I want to thank again Scott Bradford and the Spud King TV hockey team for their audio earlier. I also want to thank LFDY once again for coming onto the show and being my special guest interview. And I want to thank you guys, the Spud Kingdom. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in each and every week and can't wait and can't look forward to the episode. I really hope you guys do like this stuff. I really appreciate it. Tune in for my next podcast coming out here in a couple weeks. I appreciate you guys for all listening. And as always, go Spud Kings.
K-I-N-G, kings, meaning we seen things. And without a cheat sheet, a walking beast, no wanting peace until I'm knee deep in the rewards I need to retrieve. Keep the receipt once I receive what I work for, but never relieve. Better watch out, if you don't move, get ready to fall down. If you don't root for my son, I'm not proud. Like what you talking about, I'll pop out, even if it's hard out. Somebody let the dogs out, like they're coming for the dog out before being brought out. Whoa, they might need to keep me locked out because I will stomp on my stomping ground. So let's know this is Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud. Any day, any night, on site, alright, let's go. Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud Kingdom, Spud. Any day, any night, on site, alright, let's go.